Hey, it's Dr. Kre. We are going live with Reverend Eva at the Unleash with Eva show on 610 AM. Join us there, or you can listen in here. I'll stay live too. Reverend Eva.
Hey everybody, it's Pastor Eva. I am live in the studio today on this awesome 3-day weekend. I want to go ahead and remind you that tomorrow, I welcome you to join us in worship tomorrow at the Firm Foundation Church, in Avondale at 131 41st Street South at 11 o'clock a.m. You can join us tomorrow. Your family's in town, come over and join us. Miss Jasmine Ivy will be bringing the message on tomorrow, but you can join us tomorrow or any Sunday in Avondale. We'll be happy to have you. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Pastor Michael Miller at Luke AME Zion Church. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday to you. Pastor Miller fills in for me sometimes when I'm out of the studio, but today I have one of my friends in the studio with me. She is a family medical physician, but as well has released her latest book, The 10 Commandments of a Working Wife. Dr. Johnson, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
I'm so glad you're here. So you may have heard her name is Dr. Kre. So just tell everybody who you are, just a little bit about who you are and how you got to this point of writing a book.
Well, I'm Dr. Kre. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician, and I specialize in everything. So the good thing about family medicine is we see mamas and babies and everybody from cradle to the grave. We leave no one out. But because I'm in family medicine, I get to do a little bit of what I want to do. So in that, I have seen a lot of women struggling with the superwoman complex. You may know about that. Anybody know about the superwoman complex? And it has kind of inspired me to write this book, 10 Commandments of the Working Wife. We don't take enough time out for ourselves. We don't prioritize at all. So that's how we got to this point.
Awesome. So just to tell everybody, Dr. Kre and I, we have a lot in common.
A lot in common.
Like, we didn't grow up knowing each other, but we are closely connected. She is from the Perry County area, in which, if you all know me, both of my parents are from Perry County. My dad still pastors in Perry County. She is also a PK, a pastor's kid. I'm a pastor's kid. So we just have a lot in common. And I think once we connected, we just started following each other. She has a very beautiful family. And she's actually come to the church even when we were in hotel space. You know, many people won't come and say, oh, I'm going to speak in a hotel space. She came and she shared our testimony, which has inspired people. And so when you have women who of this caliber that are willing to sow seeds into the life of other people, we need to really listen to them, because you can spend your whole life trying to achieve something, but if somebody has gone before you that's done it, and they're willing to share that with you and to talk to you, I think we should put ourselves in a position to hear what they have to say. And I think that's definitely biblical, right?
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you for thinking of me.
Yes. So we're in this culture, like you said, that may and it does promote kind of this superwoman complex, this dynamic of being, I'm neither a mother nor a wife, right? But I have friends who are. My mother is a mother and a wife. My sister is a mother and a wife. And they are working women. And understanding that we don't have to give up everything who we are as individuals to fulfill these roles, but there's some wisdom, right?
There's a lot of wisdom in
some
that.
wisdom. So tell me again, what made you write this book at this particular moment on your journey?
On my journey, I decided to write this book because I felt like there has to be another way. I am a sole owner of a family medicine practice. I have about 5,000 patients. And I was trying to learn how to find balance myself, and I had to do a lot of little tweaking, a lot of changing things, because I wanted to keep my family, I wanted to keep my husband and keep my daughter happy, and I needed to be happy, because a lot of times in servant roles, being a doctor is such a servant role. Everybody's looking at you like, you make all this money, you do this. But people call me all the time. I can't go anywhere. I'm always like, I'll just stay home. Because if I go to the grocery store, somebody's going to ask me about this rash, this bump, whatever it is. And I'm like, I got my Maxi-Pass in one hand and my wine in the other. And I'm like, sorry. So so I thought that it was a perfect time because I feel like I've kind of balanced myself to the point where I can help somebody. You can't tell anybody about it if you've not been through it. I started my practice, and about 2 weeks later, we got married. About 6 months later, I was working every single day, and he was like, "You plan on cooking anytime soon?" I'm like, "Can't you make hot dogs yourself? You can do this. I have a whole business to run. I have a whole business." He's looking at me like I did not sign up for that.
Wow.
So I got to see that a lot with women in my practice and a lot of failed marriages because we kind of tend to be all in. We're going for the top, the top, the top, then we forget about everything else. And you don't have. It doesn't have to be like that.
Wow. Now, so you are a physician, you've written a book, but this call that you have or on your life, you know, one of the titles that you have, one of the positions that you have, okay, I'm a family medicine physician. How do you see that tied into the overall call of God on your life?
Okay, so I decided that I wanted to be a doctor when I was a very little girl. My mom said about 3 or 4, I was talking about being a doctor. And like she said, we're from Marion in Sprott, Perry County. And my grandfather got really, really, really sick. He had stomach cancer. So we started coming to UAB a lot, coming up here. And even at a little age, that was kind of a comfortable place. I can't really explain it. So then my dad's a pastor. He has to go to all of these, visit the sick. My mama hates the hospital. So she just like, I'm not going. I'm going to sit in the car. You can do this by yourself. I'm like, no, I'll go in there. So I go in there and ask all the inappropriate questions like, what is that? Why you got that hanging out your nose? Whatever. So it was just still very comfortable. And even in that, I just felt like there was a tug to be in healthcare, to be a doctor. I applied for medical school the first time, didn't get in. And they were like, well, do you want to be a teacher? No, I don't want to be a teacher. Nothing against teachers, people. Both of my parents are educators. I love educators. But I had to do that for a semester before I went to medical school. And I was like, it just showed me that I still wanted to do what I felt God had called me to do. And being a teacher was great. It paid money. But I wanted to do more than just make money. I wanted to heal people. And I felt like I had healing hands. And that's my prayer every morning. Lord, anoint my hands, give me healing hands. Bless my eyes, let me see things that others can't see, that others don't know that's there, so I can make the diagnosis. Because I always say, if you don't think about it, you can't diagnose it. So I have to be thinking about a bigger picture. Even when I'm sitting there talking to you, I'm still thinking like, what is that on her nose? Whatever it is. But I can't help it, because I'm looking with not just my natural eyes, but with my spiritual eyes. So yes, for sure, I was all out there doing other things because I had to get to where I needed to be. But I feel like it secured that, yes, I needed to be a doctor.
Right. And I think we had a conversation one time. I think somebody may have actually told me, like, Dr. Kre prayed with me.
Yes.
Like, I came to see Dr. Kre. I got my prescription, but she prayed with me.
Yes, exactly. And I do that a lot. Depending on the situation, the person, I'm like, okay, this medicine can do it, but let me just pray with you. And that makes a world of a difference to patients that you care. I mean, no matter their denomination or whatever, I'm like, let me just pray. You okay with that? And they come back and they tell those stories, and I got all these different testimonies about, because you thought about this, I don't have cancer anymore. Because you thought about this, my diabetes is under control. It's just awesome. We just have to use my heart, my head, and my hands to make a difference.
That's so awesome.
I
love how you just so freely allow the spiritual to blend with your, what you're called to do. And I think sometimes we just think this stuff is not connected, but it's so connected. So your book, I love it.
Thank you.
We gave away one at the conference, and the person who got it actually was a Spelman.
Wow.
Yes, had gone to Spelman, and she wasn't a wife, but she was like, I want this.
Yes.
She said, I'm gonna read this.
Yes.
And so, so you got 10 Commandments, which kind of lay out how the chapters flow. But first, I want to ask you, do you have a favorite commandment out of the 10 Commandments of the working wife?
Yes, my favorite is make sure you take care of yourself. The whole self-care thing. I work very, very hard for 4 days out of the week.
Yes.
Come Friday, I'm like, don't bother me. It's my day. Everybody knows it. I would get up, so I go to school, and I go out and do whatever I need to do. If that's hanging out with my girlfriends who also are off on Friday or have half a days. Self-care is so important because as working women, we put everybody first. So making sure to take time out for yourself is what's the most important one and my favorite commandment.
Awesome. So I'll tell you what's my favorite commandment. It's the first one.
What's the first part?
Y'all shall have affirmations daily.
Yes. is.
Yes. So seeing being Mary Jane, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Well, she may have quotes up, but
on her mirror.
On her mirror, but there's certain portions in my apartment that I will have, and I've always done this. Most times in the bathroom though. Some type of affirmation. It changes out every month, but something to remind me, especially before I leave the house, of who I am. You know, God's blessings for me, how powerful I am, and because I'm connected to this divine mind, this mind of God, the things that flow out of me are meant for the spaces I'm going in that day.
Oh, that's good.
So having affirmations daily, do you have a favorite affirmation?
Well, my affirmation that usually I tie mine in with scriptures.
Okay.
You know, so yesterday I was driving. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm just so thankful that you can see what I can't see. So whatever I'm walking into today, hey, I got this covered because you can see, and your eyes are a little bit stronger. You don't need these glasses like I do.
Right.
So because you can see further, I have the authority to walk into whatever I'm going into. You've already prepared me for. So it gets my mind right, and that's kind of my talk, you know, like, hey, let me get myself together. And also I do one-on-one coaching with wives, and every day they get an affirmation from me. They may write back, they may not write back, but it's stuff like, hey, I am the best. It's, you know, simple things. I'm an overcomer. I can do this today. I'm the best mommy in the world. So every day they get, at 9 o'clock at night, they get an affirmation, and it's like, you know, thank you. This was perfect for today. And it's just 30 of them that I have, and I just kind of rotate one through them. And when I do sign up with them, I'm like so connected with them, I don't get it. And I'm like, hey, you doing okay today? This lady's like, yeah, I lost my wallet this week and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I felt that something was off, so I wanted to send you this quote, send you this. And it's just been a blessing that as I affirm myself, I feel myself back up. So I'm able to pour out into someone else. So it's just a beautiful thing.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, so you're a physician, but then you also, you just wrote a book, but the book is just not out there by itself. You actually help kind of mentor or have a power group for working wives.
One-on-one. So that way, if it's things like sensitive things, infidelity, they're trying to work through, we go through that. Anything from, oh my gosh, my kids start running my nerves, he's getting on my nerves, I don't know how to deal with both of them. How do we do that? And it's like an 8-week program, and I just kind of one-on-one with them, and then in 8 weeks they're like, okay, I'm better. Or before then, I had one lady I worked with for the second or third week. She was like, you totally changed my mindset, my perspective. I sent her affirmations every day, and at the end she was like, I really appreciate it. If I need you again in 3 or 4 months, I'll call you. But it was just amazing to see God work and to allow me to help somebody else with such simple things. To me, that's simple. But to you, if you overwhelmed, you overworked, you're underappreciated, you're like, I need, or I'm going to run the other way.
Right. Oh, this is awesome. I'm like, I probably needed you about 5 years ago. So I saw one part of the book you talked about delegation. Talk to me about that.
Well, I'm the master delegator, right? Okay, because I work a lot, you know, and I believe in that. And I always say, like Apple says, or whoever says there's an app for that, I'm like, there's a person for that.
That's right.
So I'm really a stickler on those things. Like whatever I find myself being super overwhelmed with, like Shipt, that's a good example. Shipt is the shopping. They shop from Publix, they shop from Target now, they shop from Winn-Dixie. I'm like, I know we really need some eggs and we really need some bread, but I gotta work until 7. Zoe gotta be picked up at 6. So how are we gonna do this? But we really need these eggs tonight. So I can just log on the Shipt on my way home or walking out the door, and they meet me at home with those bags. And then my husband's not like overwhelmed because I had him to stop on his way home because I didn't want to stop. So somebody got to stop, right?
Right.
So it's things like that women don't even know that's out there. Yes, you pay a little bit of a markup, but it's worth it because now I have my peace of mind. So Shipt is out there. There are all other kinds of there's food like Blue Apron and things. If you need help, look at her. She over there like, let me write these notes. So there's all of these other things like Blue Apron. They can send your food to your house. All you have to do is
it's already done.
It's not done. You just have to cook it.
It's prep.
It's prep. It's prep. It's portioned, and there's the recipe. So I just kind of open women's eyes up, and I'm like, you do know you don't have to do that. You do know you can find you somebody that can come help you clean your house for real, not like the kids cleaning it or like just once a month, and not be guilty about those things. So delegation is key, but if you're gonna be guilty about it, then that's a problem. I don't want you guilty for asking for help. We need help. We just have to identify and know when we need help.
Right, and I have no problem with hiring somebody to come clean up. Because, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, man. I know some people have expectations. Well, if you a wife, you need to be cooking every night or cleaning toilets or bathtubs. My thing is, if you use the bathtub too,
everybody need
to be cleaning the bathtub. Or if you're using the toilet too, everybody needs to be cleaning the toilet.
Right.
Or we can hire somebody to help us.
Yes.
And that way, I'm a happier person. I'm coming home happier because it's not like, because you leave work.
Mm-hmm.
Home should, in my opinion, should be a safe haven. So it should not always be like I'm walking in, oh my gosh, I got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we as society must do better to think about some of the expectations we put on women. Like, we really want us to, break these ceilings, these glass ceilings in corporate America and on our jobs and in the world and get these positions. Coming home, we still cleaning the toilet.
Right.
So I just spoke for all y'all. Y'all don't want to say it, but I'm just speaking what y'all think.
Exactly. Must I do that?
Must I? And then you get talking to the older ladies at church. Girl, you need to be in there watching. No, I don't.
No.
So,
are you still doing that, ma'am?
I'm trying to set y'all free. So.
Yeah, there is freedom in this conversation right here. Yeah, the expectations are just crazy. But when we started getting our house clean, it was my husband's idea. And I was like, oh my, what are you trying to say about me? What are you trying to say about me, Jay? I don't have time to clean. I can't clean up the house dirty. So the lady, just let her do it one time, just one time. Okay, I came home and I was like, oh my gosh, the walls are white. I didn't know we had white walls. Then next week I was like, can she come back? He was like, you ready for the lady to come back? I was like, you just set me all the way free. Yeah. It was so much like I felt like I had to do it. I watched my mama do it all. But that doesn't mean that just because you watch your mama do it, that it's necessarily the right way. Not that she was doing it. My mama wasn't doing it wrong. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying there's always another way. And you have to do it with what works with your lifestyle and your time. And I'm all about time management. And we have to keep a strict schedule because we have a 4-year-old. So, I'm like, if that means somebody coming to help clean up or help, feed us, whatever, then by all means, do it.
And so it's a good principle, right? Focus on your strengths. So you just take it high level. A principle that you can apply to anything. Focus on your strengths and resource your weaknesses.
Lord, yes, that's a word.
That's a word. Like, we need to write that down. But focus on your strengths. So that's for anybody that's listening, whether you're a business owner, a man, a woman. Focus on your strengths, the things that you're passionate about, that God has actually gifted you to be able to do. And where you have weaknesses, where you can resource or delegate those things.
So somebody else is strong in those things.
That's right. Somebody else is stronger at cleaning the floor.
Yeah.
Praise God. So let's talk about it. So 10 Commandments of a Working Wife. You also have a daughter.
Yeah.
So when you wrote this book, where did she come in at?
Oh gosh. So we have to talk about raising these brilliant kids. So I have this very self-sufficient little 4-year-old, right? So she's like very full of questions, and she goes to a very colorful school, and she is there. I mean, when I wrote the book, she's just kind of coming out of this time where she was in those terrible 3s. 2s were okay, but 3s were horrible. I was like, Lord, do you want to take her back? Can you please take her? I mean, like, does somebody else want a Zoe? What? Because I'm like, I'm just not equipped for this. But it helped me to realize that, hey, other people are struggling. And as professional women, we think everything's supposed to be perfect. Mm-hmm. She taught us very well. When the school called us every day for a month that she was doing something crazy, like, okay, we're not perfect. As professional women, everything has to be like a certain level, top notch. No, children would make you change your whole perspective and make you change your prayer life, too. You're like, oh, okay, maybe I need to change my prayer after this way. Did I miss something? So my whole thing with her was to watch. She's watching me. She watches us. She's like, she told me one morning, she said, well, I don't want to straighten up this bed because the cleaning women do it so well. I said, I have a cleaning woman. You don't. Get yourself in there, clean that. Get yourself in there, clean that room up. Yes, ma'am. So now they come and she's like, Mommy, thank you so much. They put my friends right back in the bed where they belong, and I appreciate that. So trying to let her know that there are several other ways. We can do it a different way. So even at 4, kids are paying attention. Remember, your kids are always watching.
Yes, and as you say all the time, you have an awesome husband. So when you were writing this book, and I saw parts in here that you talked about making sure your husband knows that he's a priority. And then you asked the question, are you building your spouse up?
Yes, that's important.
Let's talk about that.
That's hard because as far as my husband's a business owner. In the last, 6, 7 months, we kind of gone out and gotten his own business. But before, he was working for somebody in corporate America, and it's a lot to be Dr. Creed's husband.
That's right.
I show up and I'm like, oh, we partying. I'm here. I'm in the middle of the room, and he's still standing at the back of the door, like, just trying to figure this out. And he's like, you got this life-size personality, and if you don't watch it, you kind of like, he's still back there at the back of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm very, very mindful of that, and I'm like, hey, if I meet people through him, I'm not like, hey, this is Dr. Creed. Hey, it's Jay's wife, Creed,
mm-hmm.
Whatever. So, and we have these little meetings, and like, okay, where are we at? How are we doing?
Okay.
You have to kind of do that, because you will be surprised, and you think, early in our marriage, I thought everything was going good and perfect and well. And I was so wrong, because I really wasn't paying attention to him. I was building my practice, building my business. That was our baby. That was my baby. I just made his baby as well, really without asking. And I was like, okay, we have to stop and talk often, because you'll miss it. Working 80 hours a week plus he's working 8 hours a week, you just start to go through the motions, and you forget that you have a whole person that's supposed to be your, God, then this person. So how did they get down to number 10 and you forget who they are? So I think that from me building my business and the beginning of our marriage, now we kind of gone backwards to kind of try and rebuild ourselves, because I was doing my business more than I was anything else, and I had to learn it the hard way, which was why I wanted to write the book. I'm like, you shouldn't have to learn this the hard way, women. You should really be able to start off and letting somebody tell you early on.
That's right.
Take time out for your husband. Take time out, and it's okay. You're not weak in that. You're
That's
not
right.
weak that
That's
you say,
right.
I can't go to that meeting tonight, or I can't go to that dinner. Then in my business, we have a lot of drug rep dinners, and I'm like, no, I can't. My husband works late. We got a 4-year-old. You can come see me today, but I'm not coming at night. And they know that, so they don't ask. Yeah. So you have to set clear boundaries with your profession.
That's right.
So that you can make sure that your spouse knows that they are priority.
And being able to just kind of come home and focus on home.
Mm-hmm.
That stays safe.
Oh, Lord, that's really, because I was, in the beginning, I was bringing charts home, working all night, and I was like, y'all got to cut my schedule until I can be done with everything, and at 5:30, the computer is up, I'm just there, and it's been great. It's been a blessing.
That's so awesome. I mean, it's so awesome. I watch y'all on social media, of course, and I get to see y'all when I'm out and about. But it's just a beautiful family, and kind of watching Zoe and just watching y'all and just seeing y'all start focusing on my health, or focus on this. It's just beautiful, and that you're honest about it. We have a couple minutes left. I want you to tell me about this retreat that you have coming up.
So June 22nd through the 24th at the Tutwiler here in Birmingham, we're having Wifeology, the Working Wife Retreat. And it's for overwhelmed, stressed out, tired working wives. It's Friday night through Sunday. Friday's going to be like a welcome party. Saturday, we're going to have speakers. We have Dr. Alicia, who's a psychiatrist, coming in and talking about ditching the money guilt, which is important. Dr. Lakeisha is coming from Mississippi, and she's an intimacy specialist. She's going to be talking about 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, I said on the gospel station. 50 Shades of Grey. They don't know, right? And we're going to have Dr. Mia Cowan, who's Birmingham's own OBGYN, and she's going to be talking about how your hormones can affect things. You can get your tickets at www.drcree.com. That's DOCTORKRE.com. And follow me on Facebook. I hope to see you guys there.
All right, so we got a minute. Give me a minute, some closing thoughts that you want to give to the listeners.
So I think that we should know that balance is everything. And no matter if you're married, you're single, you want to be married, just balance. If you can find a way to, and it doesn't have to really be a cute balance, it can be a juggle. You just juggle things, and when you can find that you can balance a little bit here, a little bit there, because no one can give 100% to everything. Give the best you can to it. Give your all to it. Give the rest to God. Get a good night's rest, and get up the next day and do it all over again.
Awesome. Now, where can the listeners get your book?
Okay, they can get the book from our website as well, www.drcree.com. Spell doctor out. It is $14, and we ship usually same day or the next day.
Yeah, I got mine like the next day.
Yeah.
So if you order it today, guys, you may get it tomorrow. Yes. And so it's a great book, ladies. If you're listening, and even if you're not married yet, or I think you just need to get the book, because there's some principles in here that just lay over different parts of life, and I'm just grateful that somebody took the time to write it.
Thank you.
And I love what you're doing because
so
wives need the help. They need the wisdom.
And they need a safe space.
They need a safe space where they got to worry about somebody running out and saying, well, she's tired of her husband or he getting on her nerves. That's normal. And we like to portray this look like what we see sometimes on social media, but y'all, marriage is real. And that's a person living and coming as one with another person takes prayer, but it also takes some wisdom, and it takes just being able to talk to somebody that's not going to run out and tell your business. And so that's the problem. Sometimes you can't talk to folks at your church about what's going on, because you might hear it again, and they're going to look at it through a different lens. So thank y'all for joining us. God bless you and keep you. Check us out at thefirmfoundationchurch.com.
Thank you.
Amen.